Alright folks, we're here with the base for the Mercury 9. She's all glued together. So basically I have a picture frame with some rectangular inserts in it. Okay. This again was some molding that I bought in my local lumber supply store. Hole carved for the power supply. Before I glue the base in, I'm going to get that power supply in there. Okay. I had some problems with the other project you've seen already, with the corners pulling apart when I started working on it. So I put some some double pointed tacks in there. Okay. I don't know what they're made out of. It says steel. I bought these wood joiners to do this. Okay. I thought these would be good, but I bought the tacks just in case. I'm glad I bought the tacks, because these joiners, they look great. They probably work great. I'm not good enough with the hammer to drive them in well. I did on the other project, you saw it there. But I think these tacks are going to hold just as well as these joiners. And I'm going to show you something. On that corner right there, I tried to put a joiner in. On that corner, I did similar, and you can see I was just chewing up the wood. I was not getting them in there straight. It's probably the surface I was hammering on. I probably should have hammered on this. That would have made a difference. They've been a lot more stable. But anyhow, I went with those. They're easier to work with. The package of like 100 of these costs the same as a package of 6 of these. So, quantity it doesn't even say. It just says they're weighed by ounce. There's quite a few of them in there. And they're going to do the same job as these for a project like this lightweight. Alright, I'm going to get the sander out and we're going to get this thing fit in here. Now before I glue the board in, and there's the board right there, on the wheel, sitting on the wheel of the mighty Ford Ranger right here. Just in case you're checking, yes, it still says Brock Erie Cruiser on the back. Okay. That board doesn't fit in there 100%. So I'm going to get a belt sander out and I'm going to slowly sand the edges until I get her to fit. And that's going to be a testy process, because if you're not careful with the belt sander, you're just going to shred it. So you got to be really, really careful. I've already explained why that's great. It was primered to keep moisture from leaking through. So let me get set up here and we'll get going. One of the things I have to remember when I'm doing woodworking is no matter how many times I measure a project, I'm never going to get 100% right, and I didn't. Okay, you can see I'm pretty close. You can see it right there. I'm really, really close. So this isn't going to take a whole heck of a lot of fixing to get to work. Alright, just a teeny bit of edging on that, and that board's going to just slide right in there perfect. So, just wanted to show you where that's at. Came out really, really close. And I think this thing's going to look really nice when it's done. This is going to make a nice presentation board for this project. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, got the disc/belt sander out. Yes, I got it at Harbor Freight Tools. It's not the best one in the world, but it tends to do the job. I'm going to make sure it's rotating the right way real quick. It is. And I noticed that belt just traveling, and that means it's not tight enough. I know it's not the best thing in the world, but it wasn't expensive, and something like this, precision isn't necessarily what counts. Other things count. So I use it. I use it not that often. That's why I don't care. If I ever get where I'm using this on a daily basis, oh, it's going to get replaced. Okay, I already replaced a few of their tools with something more better. Let's just put it that way. So, let me get that belt adjusted right, and let me get working. All right, I'm about to start working with it. Just remember, whenever you're working with power tools, safety glasses. Because you don't need a piece of something flying up in your eye. That happened to my dad, and he spent 3 days in the hospital over it. Not happening to me. Safety glasses, all right? I'm not going to actually film doing this because that means bringing a tripod out and various other things. I'll just show you intermediate steps as I'm working. Okay? I'm going to get started. Well, as you can see, I got the base in there. Now, I didn't show you guys intermediate steps because as I got working I thought that'd be boring. The procedure I followed was basically this. Turn the belt sander on. Run the edge I didn't think was fitting on the belt sander for no more than 20 or 30 seconds. Shut it off, test it. Just keep repeating until she fits. Process took about 5 minutes, but you guys look at the joint on that. There's teeny little gaps here and there. You can see where I was hitting the belt sander a little too aggressive in spots like right there and over here in this corner. But that's okay, because you're not going to see any of that anyhow. There's going to be a layer of groundwork on top of that board. So up next, fill the gaps in the corners like that one, and there's one right there. Fix the corners, and then I can varnish. Okay, fix the corners, power supply in here, then I can glue this board down. That power supply's got to be in there before I glue the board down. It'll be too hard to get in there with the board in there, I think. Okay, and once it's done that, I can start varnishing the outer edge. I'm going to varnish the outer edge before I do any work on it. I'll just let the varnish dry for a day or two and then start taping and taping it over. So when I do my other work, I don't mess up the varnished edge. I just think it's going to be too hard to varnish it with the whole model on there because it's going to be delicate. I mean, we're going to have photo etch towers, plastic towers, not Mercury 9, which is like 13 inches tall. You know, I'm not going to want to move this thing around. I'm just not. So once I get it in place, I'm going to want to leave it there. Okay? Oh, Nellie and I are selling the house. So it's not quite listed yet. It will be soon. I showed it to you at Christmas time, but I'm going to show you a little bit of the front of it now, just so you guys can see. I love my flower bed. Okay, these are called crinums. They're near native. I don't really have to do much with them. We had a bad drought last year, and they survived the drought just fine. I hardly ever watered them. So I love these plants. We get, this side is primarily white. Over here, they're primarily pink. You can see they're blooming everywhere. That white flowery stuff over there is some cilantro. I know that purple flower right there is a herb of some kind, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm pretty sure that's mustard greens, not positive. Okay, not sure what this purple flower is, but I like him. I know how to spell that, but I don't know what that is. The one with the little purple flowers on them, like that one over there. Not sure what this guy is either, but I like me some flowers. Those are rose bushes back there with some lantana in front of the rose bushes. Rose bushes have already spent their flowers, so you can see some of them are still blooming in places. I was told they'd only get 4 foot tall, and boy, was that wrong. Yeah, I trim these things back, and they grow back faster than I can trim them. There's some amazing rose bushes, I'll tell you that. We live in South Texas, and so there isn't many varieties of rose bushes that grow, but boy, this one does. And you can get down in there, you can see the stem on that thing. That's one thick, heavy rose bush. It's not going to be trimmed anytime soon. And in the middle of the rose bush over here, we have some morning glory flowers about to open up. A little native vine that just crept in the yard, and nice purple flowers on him, and I said, I'm just going to leave you. Okay? Native flowers are fun for me because I don't have to worry about watering them. All right? And then again, the Mighty Ford Ranger. All right. I know some of you have seen glimpses of it. And in the garage, I got that thing. Needs to be washed. She's getting bathed tonight or tomorrow. It's a BMW 335. I got a real good deal on that one. It's an 09. I bought it this year. It had, I think, 8,000 miles on it and 4.5 years of warranty left. And I paid less than $30,000 for it. So, you want a really nice car. You're willing to put up with one about a year old. I mean, when I said 4.5 years of warranty, that's manufacturer warranty. I didn't buy an extended. You just got to look around. I got an incredible deal on that car. It has less than 12,000 miles on it now, and I've had it for 6 months, I think. So, yeah, it doesn't get driven much. But anyhow, let me get back to the Mercury 9. Didn't think you guys would mind a tour around the old homestead a little bit before I sell it. This is why I like those rose bushes. Just look at that cluster of blooms. They're wild roses, so they're not cultivated, so they're not big, heavy with flowers. They're tiny little flowers, but they like this climate, which is good because it's really wet and humid. A couple of oak trees in the front yard too. All right, I'm going to get back to work. It's getting dark, and I've got a lot of work to do. I estimate right now I'm about 3 weeks behind where I should be on this build. And that happens because I lost 12 days to work and a week and a half to a wedding. I think I'm doing really well because I've caught up about a half week worth of work already. And if I push it by tomorrow, I will have caught up to where I'm only 2 weeks behind. So let me get going. See you guys in a bit. All right, YouTube people, we're here at the Denver Botanical Gardens. This is the iris area. Now, I live in Texas. We have irises in Texas, but they're nothing like this, okay? I mean, this is a monstrous iris for Texas, and it's tiny here. There's the reason I'm here today, taking photos of me, videotaping you. I mean, this place is just amazing. It's an incredibly well done garden. You walk from area to area and everything changes as you're walking. Lilac everywhere. These are all lilacs over here. This perfume smell from this place is also wonderful. So if you're ever in Denver, I highly recommend a visit to this place. Just highly recommend it. We're headed towards the Rose Emporium. Next. Peonies. Again, lilacs. Nellies. Just irises everywhere and flowers everywhere. Should have videotaped the Japanese garden when we were there. Walk over, this odor is completely different because of the rose bushes. Some clematis. Well, enough of the view for now. I love the contrast here between the light-colored plants, the dark-colored plants, and the climbing roses. To me, it's just very, very nice. Love the contrast here between the light-colored skin, the dark-colored hair, and the turquoise earrings. And I love this tree. I mean, just love this tree. We're gonna go find out what it is, because it looks fuzzy from the distance, even up close. I don't think there's a name for it. Nope. No name plaque on the tree. It's a really, really interesting tree.
We think it's a smoke push.
A what?
A smoke push.
A smoke push?
The sign is over here, I think. Here.
Yeah, it is over there. I'll come over and look. There it is. There's the name of that tree. Smoke bush. It's a sumac. Interesting. And I let Nellie have the camera, so she's just over there shooting flower photos like mad.